What's up, everybody? In this video, let's break down UFC 299's co-main event, Dustin the Diamond Poirier versus Benoit Denis. And in this video, I want to look at the X's and O's of this matchup and tell you who I think is going to win and why they're going to win. And I believe a lot of people are overlooking the Diamond in this matchup. And let's first take a look at the resume thus far of Benoit, because everyone's getting a little carried away here, I think, right? I mean, his first fight in the UFC, okay, decision loss to Dos Santos. We saw Denis get clipped pretty good in that fight. And then, he goes on and, I mean, who are these guys, right? I mean, it's not to be disrespectful, but who are these guys, right? I mean, we know Thiago Moises, that's probably the biggest name he's had in that point. He gets the TKO win on that Gon Spivak card in France. And then he goes out there with the fancy head kick KO at UFC 295 over Matt Frevola. But I believe people are getting really carried away in the hype of Benoit Denis, and that's not to say that this guy is not a stud, because he is. There's no doubt about it. This guy is finishing fights. I know that we're quick to kind of do that whole Rafael Fiziev comparison, and where Justin Gaethje took the fight against Rafael Fiziev. But what's kind of different between Fiziev and Benoit is Denis getting the job done by finishing people, where we saw Fiziev get, the nice finish over RDA, but a lot of those fights were decision wins, right? I mean, we see the fancy striking of Fiziev, but I think people are really overlooking the Diamond Dustin Poirier in this matchup. And everyone's looking into the head kick of Justin Gaethje. And it's like, when have we ever seen Justin Gaethje throw a damn head kick, right? I mean, we have never seen Justin Gaethje, we know about the leg kicks, but this guy's never thrown a kick to the body, really, and never, let alone thrown a head kick. I think he just surprised DP, right? He got caught with a good shot. But outside that, we know a couple things about the Diamond, and that is he is going to take the most dangerous matchups that are available to him. And if you don't think that that's the case, why is he taking this fight? Because this is high risk, high reward for the Diamond. I believe if he gets through Denis, it's going to be hard to deny a title shot or some sort of crazy fight next for DP, because Dustin doesn't have to fight anymore. This guy has fought McGregor numerous times. He's made a bunch of money. He's got the hot sauce. And everyone's just saying, well, Denis is going to run through him, and he's the favorite, and he should be. And on what ground? On what ground? I mean, we have seen from Dustin, I understand Dustin does get clipped in a lot of these matchups, and he gets into some wars. He eats some good shots. We've seen him hurt. We have seen Denis face adversity in his first UFC fight that I believe Dustin is going to bring that back out of Denis in this matchup. This is a 5-round fight. This is a co-main event. This is a huge spotlight for Denis that Poirier has been living in for the past several years since he's been in the UFC. He's one of the true stars that's still around in the UFC. Denis has had some very impressive moments. Do not get me wrong. He is finishing fights. He is a wrecking ball at this point. We saw the Frevola head kick. I mean, impressive. Off the clinch, they break away, and then there comes that head kick. And it's like, ooh, this guy is just running through people. I believe DP does face a little bit of adversity. I would be lying if I said I don't think the Diamond gets clipped. I think he's going to eat a good shot in the first round against Denis. But the question is, when DP's still hanging around after that first round, I believe it's all downhill for Denis after that. I believe Benoit's going to be very confident, very aggressive. In his call out after beating Frevola, he wanted a matchup like this. He wanted one of these fun guys at the top of the heap at 155 that's known for standing and banging, like Gaethje, like Dustin Poirier. And here he is. He gets his wish. Be careful what you wish for, man, because I believe Dustin is going to absolutely drown this dude. You have to remember, guys, this is a 5-round fight, and everyone's like, oh, well, it's only an extra 2 rounds. That makes the world of difference. Obviously, if it gets there, no shit. But I think Denis is going to come out aggressive. And we've seen Dustin, everyone's like, well, why is Dustin taking this fight? Because this is a scary matchup, dude. Nobody inside the top 10 wants to fight this guy, Denis. No one wants to fight him. And I don't blame him. I mean, he's been on a tear. He's been finishing people. It's not like these haven't been boring decisions. And it's like, oh, well, we just got to find him an opponent. Like, this dude's finishing people. He's scary. There's no doubt about it. He's an up-and-coming star, possibly. And DP's like, my time, man. My time. I'm coming off a loss to Justin Gaethje in the BMF title fight. There's not a lot of options for me. I'm sitting here and it's like looking at the landscape. What's a fun fight? Something that scares me, that wakes me up out of bed, to make me go run those extra miles. Give me this dude, Benoit Denis, because he's finishing people. He's on a tear. And everyone's saying this is the next guy. And DP's like, sign me up, man, because Dustin's going to test this dude. We know it. I know it. You know it. Even if you think Denis is going to run through this guy, I just don't know what ground you have to stand on for that. It's very possible he goes out there and comes up with some highlight reel finish. Don't think it's going to be that easy. I foresee the forecast of this matchup, mark my words, is going to be Denis coming out very aggressive. He's going to be a little patient in the beginning, and then he's going to try to look to land some sort of big shot on Dustin. He's going to clip him, but Dustin's going to hang around. He's going to make it through the round, and this is going to become a dogfight. And we saw in that first UFC fight for Denis, if you bring this guy into some deep water, and that was only a 3-round fight against a guy who doesn't have anything on Dustin, man. Dustin's going to drown this dude. He's going to drown him. It's going to be a 5-round fight. I don't think it goes the distance. I believe that Dustin's going to finish this dude. You know, I don't know if it would be in the 2nd round. Maybe it's the 3rd round. But I believe Denis, he might take that 1st round off Dustin. He might land a good shot, hurt him a little bit. But then Dustin's going to get his groove. He's going to get his rhythm down, the timing. He's going to get comfortable in there with the boxing. And you know, when DP, you know, he kind of starts off, he starts getting the jab going, he's moving, he eats a shot or two, starts moving around, fixing the shorts, combing the hair, and then it's on from there, man, because this dude starts to find his rhythm, he starts to get the timing, he starts to get that left hand working, and then everyone's like, oh, well, but DP doesn't really have that one-shot knockout power. It's the avalanche that Dustin brings, which is, I believe, going to be the problem for Denis, where Denis is going to fade a little bit, and DP is going to be like, aha, now you're tired and I'm just getting started. And that's when that left hand kind of buzzes you a little bit and you're like, oh man, and then you're trying to create space. Eddie Alvarez is a guy that's notoriously talked about this with the Diamond Dustin Poirier, which is he'll back you up against the fence, he'll square up, and then he just starts letting everything go, man. And it's one punch after the next. It's very little timing in between each. They just dip around your guard, they hurt you, and he's able to get you out of there. And I believe that Dustin's able to finish this guy. I really do. And I understand the hype behind Denis and the excitement, and I get all of it. A young up-and-coming prospect who's running through the competition. This is a big step up in competition. It's not to say that he can't go out there and beat DP. I think that he deserves to be in a position like this to fight a big name, to fight a really good guy that is known for the striking in Dustin Poirier. But I think that the 5-round fight, the big moment, I believe it's going to be, I don't want to say a little bit too much for Denis, but I believe that Dustin thrives in these moments. He's been, and everyone wants to point at that Gaethje head kick. Dude, name one fight in Justin Gaethje's career where Justin Gaethje has not hurt his opponent. In every single fight, Justin Gaethje has earned a bonus. And why is that? Because every fight is either batshit crazy, he's getting finished, or he's finishing somebody. That's how it's went. And Justin Gaethje has been nothing but pure violence. Every fight that the guy has, he is hurting somebody. You never fight Justin Gaethje and just come out there without getting hurt. Like, that's how it happens. So it's like, let's give it a little bit of a rest there, because we've seen Dustin also hurt Justin Gaethje in their first meeting. And then everyone wants to point out the submissions, right? I mean, Khabib Nurmagomedov submitted submitted Dustin Poirier. We saw Charles Oliveira, do the same thing and submit Dustin Poirier. And it's like, we're talking about Khabib, who's one of the greatest of all time, who's never lost. And then we're talking about DuBronx, who has the most submission wins in UFC history. And it's like, we're comparing Benoit Denis to those guys? Like, that is crazy to me. This is a perfect example of everyone building up a guy who, yes, he's good, but I don't think he's there yet. I think the Diamond Dustin Poirier shines bright in the co-main event at UFC 299, but I want to hear what you all think. Like this video, comment your opinion below. Do you agree with me? Do you think Denis gets this thing done? Subscribe to the channel, help your boy out. I think this is going to be a firefight. I think that this is going to be potential fight of the night. I believe Dustin drowns him and gets it done in the 3rd round, but what do you all think? Comment below. See you in the next one.